Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Carrie Heron and I am live with you again to talk to you about top 10 things. We're talking about content gold today, content gold for professionals. And I'm doing that because I am doing a bit of an experiment myself in terms of my own content. I want to make content for some of you who are in my community who are interested in creating more content and showing up for yourself and for your own audiences. And so I want to be able to add value to your viewership. So today we're going to be talking about how to mine content gold. So, hi there, professionals. This topic is for you, but you can apply this to any other group of persons, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're even a student in the process of getting, especially a professional degree. Listen, because this will also help to position you very well when it's time for you to get on board with your profession because you'll already have a head start. I also had a head start ahead of my graduating class when I was studying media and communication back in the day. And the reason I had a head start was a few things. I started out doing TV when I was 16 years old. And so I was trained as a TV presenter, TV, radio, and platform speaker presenter. And by the time I was still in university in my undergrad degree, I got an invitation to audition to do the weather forecast. And that was when I actually started doing the weather while I was on campus. So it's not too early to start doing your media, communication, marketing, and showing up online, doing and creating content even ahead of you graduating for your professional degree. Of course, if you're doing certain things like that require licenses, you have to operate within the ambit and the ethics and the best case scenario professional standards of your industry and your profession. So you want to be mindful of those things. But nonetheless, this is for you if you want to create content that will allow you to have evergreen stuff in 2024 that are likely to go viral. And the reason why I'm concentrating on these kinds of topics is because evergreen content, as I said in the video I made like this, but for entrepreneurs, will allow you to have longevity in the online in terms of searchability and viability, and when people are looking for you, they're not only looking for you within a particular season, they'll be looking for these topics throughout the year. And so you can have a video that will do well for the long term. That's great for you for search purposes. It's well for you for lead generation purposes. That's great for you for community building. That's great for you for exposure. That's great for you, period, point blank, even for monetization. So, evergreen content is why you want to work on stuff. Virality is one thing where, okay, maybe a video does well once and it blows up for a little while and then it just goes. Usually, a viral video will just have like a shelf life almost, and then it just kind of dissipates. Interest wanes after a while. Viral videos sometimes will not even build up and have a big audience initially, but it might just happen over time. Now you can have an evergreen video that also goes viral at a later point as well. So that's the best of both worlds, where the content is so good that it can become viral at any time. And it just takes perhaps one person or one uptrend or something for it to start sharing, and then just wonderful things happen. So today we're going to be talking about these 10 topics that are viral for professionals in any industry, in any niche, and for you who want to create and captivate and inspire your audience in 2024. So let's dive all the way in. So, if you're a professional looking to elevate your online presence, or if you're in for a treat, because these 10 topics will position you as an authority in your industry and engage your audience like never before. So, for my friends on LinkedIn, pay attention because this is what's going to set you apart. This is not just for YouTube, this is for LinkedIn, this is for the web period, whether you're writing for your blogs or otherwise. This content trend, these 10 content tips and topics are things you can spin off in any channel. Now, the first one is you want to be able to have like an expert advice series. So, show us that you're the expert and create a series where you can actually share your tips and strategies. So, you share your expertise with the world by creating an expert advice series where you offer valuable tips, advice, insights, and strategies related to your industry or your niche. This will allow you to position yourself as an expert and will provide actionable advice to those who are following you, who are your viewers, your listeners, if you're doing it via audio or podcast, and that they can implement to achieve success. So, expert advice series, that would be a topic that would be able to help you to create evergreen content in 2024. And guess what? Expert advice will always be expert advice. So that's why it's evergreen and that's why it's going to position you very well. The second one is a day in the life. Behind the scenes, show people what it really is like in your life. I noticed there's a trend of, the 5 a.m. club and like morning routines and get ready with me and all sorts of different things. So you can take it in little snippets. Preparation for going to court if you're a lawyer. Your moments before surgery if you're a surgeon. What's the workflow like? What's your morning flow like right before a surgery? If you're a plastic surgeon, cosmetic surgeon, or if you're any kind of doctor going in for a big thing, and how do you mentally prepare yourself? I've seen some interesting ones on those as well, and that's a really good way to show what life is like behind the scenes of your profession. And listen, likely to be evergreen, so a good thing for you to delve into. And so you can show your audience an inside look at the day in your life as a professional. You're showing your daily routines, your tasks, your responsibilities. You're perhaps even showing you engage with your team as well and your colleagues, and offering transparency and authenticity that resonates with you. So this is gonna let them see you like with the camera behind the camera, so to speak. And this is one of the things that the technique of behind the scenes is one of those things that we always did in broadcasting, because especially when you're producing a show, it would come in handy when it was time to promote the show. So if you had a camera that was rolling on set, but you also had another camera, an ENG camera, which is separate, that would capture footage of the footage. So the behind the scenes, so the viewer would get like little snippets and feel as though they were right there. So it gives your audience the feeling that they're right on set with you. And that makes it really very wonderful in terms of building community and building anticipation for what it is that you're inviting them into, which is your space and how it is that your life operates and what your profession is and your industry as well. The third one is industry trends and insights. So you want to show that all the things that people need to know about what's happening in your industry, what's coming up, stay ahead of the curve by sharing these trends and the news, the insights with your audience. That makes you much more informative, much more educational in your approach to your content. So just it's not just a journalistic in terms of it's not just documentary, rather it becomes journalistic. So you are now adding commentary and creating your own perspective of the industry, news, tips, trends, things that you think, projections, and so on. And you want to do that this year to set yourself apart and to create content that is evergreen. So you want to inspire your audience as well with real life examples um, of emerging trends and opportunities that makes you very valid. If you notice as well, there has been a trend of people saying things like, these are the jobs that are available and how remote jobs, when the world became remote, here are the places to find remote jobs online, remote jobs, work from any more jobs, work from any country, stay at home, how you can work at stay at home and earn income. So these are the typical things, writing, how you can write books from home and earn money on Amazon, all sorts of different things. Whatever it is in your industry, whether you are a profession in accounting or whatever new software is coming up that's going to break the trend. There's a software that just came out I'm originally from Jamaica, so a friend of mine actually launched a new software that will help to completely make payroll a, a very, very, very simple thing in the Caribbean, because it's a very challenging thing for entrepreneurs in the Caribbean. And so his software is called Head Office, and that's a big thing. So just talking about stuff like that, like how you can share the trends in new technologies, new things that are coming up that are going to be beneficial to your industry, to your profession, and to your audience. The third one is I think this is the fourth one now. We're going to be talking now about success stories. Success stories in your industry, in your profession, those things are going to always, always, always generate a lot of interest, because people want to hear from people who have been there, who have walked the walk, and now are ready to talk the talk. So they want to know, like they want to eat up. Okay, so what did you do? And what did you do then? What did you do then? They want to hear all that they had gone through. So you want to hear the stories of triumph, overcoming all sorts to get the success that they have acquired, because people want to be able to taste just a piece of the vision that they have for themselves. So you want to highlight success stories within your industry or within your niche, and showcase individuals or businesses that have achieved remarkable success. So you want to inspire your audience with real examples of perseverance, of innovation, and triumph. And people love a good story. People love a good story of just overcoming a lot to come into really grand things. So be sure to share. Find people. It's also a great thing for you. So that actually has a twofold purpose. That actually has a twofold premise, because it's good for your audience, but it's also good for you in terms of building relationships with these people as well, because these are people in your industry. You got to build your network in the process. Now, and in terms of topics that are likely to help you go viral in 2024 as a professional, here is another evergreen one, Q&A session. So find out from your audience all of the burning questions that they have and answer them. Questions about your industry, questions about what you had to do to get to where you are, like insider tips. So you want to engage it directly with the audience by answering these questions, where you answer their burning questions. You could do it on live sessions. You could do it, pre-record, whichever way suits you best. You could actually just get their questions in and answer them, providing expert advice, fostering meaningful connections with your viewers. All right, so now we get to number 6. Number 6 is skill building workshops, masterclasses. You want to be able to give some masterclasses, at least one, and get a good masterclass that kind of showcases your skills, your expertise in your area of expertise, right? And then you will empower your audience in that regard. You're going to help them to learn and grow. And you're going to hold these skill building masterclasses or tutorials related to your area of excellence. So you're going to share practical knowledge. You're going to share tips, techniques that will help your viewers enhance their skills and achieve their goals. So you're not only going to talk, you're going to show them how to do the work. That's going to be gold, because that's going to set you apart. Give people meaningful things that they'll be able to action, which adds value to their viewership. Don't waste people's time in 2024. People don't have time to waste anymore. People click off quickly. Next one, number 7. We're going through this rather quickly. Thought leadership discussions. You want to start leading conversations on topics that matter, even controversial topics that matter, topics that show who you are, topics that share your value about certain things and all of those things. You want to position yourself as a thought leader in your industry by hosting discussions on relevant topics and trends. And you could do these one on cam, talking about a whole bunch of different things, like I'm doing in my Thrive with Carrie podcast for the 2nd season. That's also available on Apple Podcasts and all other places where podcasts may be downloaded, including Audible. And it's also available right here on YouTube as well in video format. So I use that podcast, especially in the 2nd season, to share my opinion, my thoughts on a whole bunch of different topics. The 1st season, I did a lot of interviews, which was interesting. And I will go back to interviews as well in the future. But for this season, I really wanted to concentrate on sharing some of the thoughts that I had on topics that I felt really mattered and were worth speaking about. And I'm now 8 shows in. I'm on preparing my 9th show as we speak. And sharing your own thoughts is important in terms of helping to position you as a thought leader and to drive discussions on topics. And you can talk about trends as well. You can talk about controversies that could be in the industry or related to your industry, related to your niche, related to your profession. And you could also invite other professionals to join in on the conversation. And it could be somebody who also agrees with you or some people who disagree with you. So you have like really good back and forth conversation from different perspectives. So this is really a really good way to create content that is viral and evergreen. So you're going to be able to be valid for a long time, and it's going to be content gold for years, especially when you're talking about bringing other people in on those discussions as well. The 8th topic is personal growth and development. This particular topic will never get stale. Do you know why? Because there's always space to grow. No matter how great we are, no matter how much success we achieve, there's always space to grow. And so people with a growth mindset are always looking for areas to grow, always looking to enlarge their territory, to be stretched, to be expanded, to have more, to be more, to do more. And so personal growth and development will always be something that's evergreen. So you want to talk about things like nurturing success mindsets. You want to explore personal growth and development topics that are relevant with professionals in your industry, that are relevant for the clients that you face as well, that you're in your industry, or that you serve rather in your industry. Share insights and strategies and mindset shifts that are necessary, and then empower your viewers to reach their full potential. Because listen, people are always looking for strategies to be better. And if you can share that through experience or through your own trials as well, in terms of the things that you're trying out, the things that you've heard, the practices that you've discovered that you're adding to your life that are causing you to shift in some ways and expanding your own growth, that is gold in terms of content. Number 9, you could start an interview series. And a lot of people actually have started podcasts. Podcasts are not as easy as people think. And I know this because I come from a broadcasting background, and content is not as easy as people think. It's probably easier to start out doing content, but it's another thing to continue to do content consistently, especially when you're doing it solo. It's hard enough to do content in a team a professional team, much less to do the work of an entire team as a solo person. After a while, it leads to a lot of burnout. It happens with a lot of YouTubers, a lot of content producers over a certain time. They just really, really struggle. And they struggle because the need to continue to churn out content is one that takes away a lot. It takes a lot of virtue from you, it takes a lot of energy. And you can get sucked into this thing. So burnout is something that is real. One of the ways that you can slow down that content churn and that burnout churn is you could actually invite people to have conversations. So instead of trying to generate all of this information on your own, you could invite people in to have conversations about topics that matter to your industry, that matter to your clients, that matter to your audience, to your community that you're building. That helps to sort of pacify. It's still not easy because you still have to do a lot of the pre-production work by organizing, booking those interviews, coordinating the times and all those things. But you don't have to be talking the entire time or creating content to fill the entire time. So having that interview series, conversations with other industry leaders and professionals in your industry will help you and will give you actually evergreen content. So invite industry leaders and experts for in-depth interviews where you delve into their backgrounds, experiences, and insights. And from each of those interviews, you can provide valuable takeaways and inspiration for your audience. That is content gold for 2024. And we're heading up into the last one, number 10. So, if one thing is sure, is that time is short. There is not enough time. And so, what you want to do is to increase your content as it relates to things that help people to drive productivity, increase efficient time management, people management, things that are related to your industry, whether it's if you're dealing B2B with other professionals and other businesses, or you're dealing B2C with clients, those things that would be relevant to the audience that you're building. So you want to help your audience to boost their productivity, you want to help them to boost their efficiency, and you want to give them practical tips and strategies for efficiency with managing time, productivity, and managing people even. So you want to share those tips and those techniques and the workflows and all of the things that optimize workflow and performance, right? So there you have it. Those are 10 evergreen video topics that will help you to really maximize your content schedule in 2024 and perhaps even go viral. But even if you don't go viral, as in get big really quickly, you will be able to use these content topics and be relevant for a long time. That's what evergreen really means. You want to be relevant for a long time, not just seasonally. And I find that that is a greater technique, a greater aim. A lot of people talk about going viral, but I really want you to shift that mindset from virality and going evergreen. Evergreen meaning that you are going to show up well in searches long term, over time, not just seasonally. You're going to be talking about topics that are always relevant. You're going to be able to build your audience consistently over time. You're going to be able to be relevant even to new people coming in, new people in your audience. And that's always a really great thing. So if you have found this content great to be beneficial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you are needing help to position yourself as an expert in your field, to elevate your executive personal branding presence, to help you to overcome all your fears of being on camera or just being on stage and doing well, excelling in your industry, then you can apply to work with me. I do take clients from time to time. And I also have a wait list that you can sign up for the next challenge that I have coming up. You can find all the details in the description box, and you can contact me through that. Like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again for watching. I'm Carrie Heron. See you in the next live. Walk good.